Market vitals, the levels you need to triage the market. Triaging. Who's got triage today? Oh, HFR does with mistrade suspended. Matt Davio, a huge hockey fan, has some hockey knowledge, plays here in the beautiful outdoor covered pavilion in Bend, Oregon. He's a shift master. He knows how to master the shift. In other words, he knows how to not get in the last 10 minutes of the game by
don't tell my secrets. Don't tell my secrets.
By maneuvering himself on the bench. So
especially when we're up 6-1, I'm done. I'm tired.
Matt,
I just want to rest.
Breaking news, Matt. Breaking news. The Manja bundle is never going to be more important. And we had a nice conversation last night about middle-aged people that don't know how to cook, Matt. But this is going to be even more important when grasshopper is on the menu. A pound of grasshoppers is 3 times as nutritious as a pound of beef. Maybe the Merc should get ahead of this and start grasshopper futures. I think they should have Keith Carradine, right, be the spokesperson.
Well, and also, 1 pound of broccoli has more protein than 1 pound of sirloin. So I'll stick with the broccoli, and
you try to eat a pound of broccoli.
You can try to eat a pound of freaking grasshoppers. Jesus.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, rubbed with the shrimp mojo and then barbecue.
Never, ever intentionally.
Do you like crab? Because that's just a fucking grasshopper on the bottom of the sea. Lobster.
Are you saying no? Maybe shrimp. Maybe a shrimp would be crustacean-ish.
Disgusting. Whoever ate the first lobster or shrimp was on a dare for sure. Guaranteed.
What about butterflies? Here's what I want to know though. Is there going to be protection? We got to protect
nobody gets to eat butterflies.
Certain types of insects you can't eat. I can't eat I don't know, earthworms, or are those good? And what happens when you eat these insects? Do we start having problems with something else in the
here's my question. Do you start also chirping like a cricket for no apparent reason? Nobody can sleep in the house because there's a cricket. Yeah, breaking news. I just want to bring this up again and again and again, because the World Economic Forum is telling us psychologists say a good life doesn't have to be happy or even meaningful. I bring this up because I think she's got something to say about it. This beautiful, beautiful woman, 99 years young, unjabbed and unafraid. This is from, I believe, Burnley, which is an English enclave, fully fed up with the narrative. I had a nice little one today. You shared the unfortunate death and passing of the Purdue basketball player.
Yeah, it was a Blazers #1 pick 2 years ago, 2020, coming out of COVID. The guy battled depression his whole life, and I'm sure COVID didn't assist that. That's
for sure. It's the lockdowns. How much did lockdowns help that?
I mean, it's just enough. You can say what you will, but whether it was the jab or whether it was the lockdowns that affected a lot of people.
My call out was to NPR and USA Today, since they're central. When are they going to start doing some real investigative journalism around the little prick in the room?
Right. Then I saw that old video, not old, maybe a year old, with Gilbert Gottfried and Bob Saget talking about, together they were doing this,
little Zoom,
like you and I. They were doing the Zoom, saying they were talking about the jab, and he was like, and Gilbert Gottfried was like, I don't care if it's a test, man, I'm taking it.
I mean, it's unreal, the fear that, man, let's talk about fear and loathing. Both big fans and supporters of Will Zalatoris, and he just can't get over the top here. Yeah. But the U.S. Open was fantastic. I mean,
it was the best, U.S. Open finish. Coast to coast. I definitely watched 13 holes, the last 13 holes.
And Matt Fitzpatrick, he won the U.S. Amateur on the same course, stayed with the same family, friends. I thought that was pretty interesting.
It was pretty interesting.
What I thought was more interesting, though, was, and we talked about this while we were watching a hockey game last night, because so much of golf is between the ears. I mean, it's where it's played. And I think Zalatoris wasn't prepared for being, you know, 2 back, 1 back and grinding, you know, and then all of a sudden he goes from 1 back to 2 clear.
He was prepared to grind. And then there was
exactly. And all of a sudden he, in 1 hole, he's 2 shots ahead
with 6 holes left.
Right. And the next 2 tee shots, I mean, talk about how do I prepare for that? I mean, that it was incredibly unusual to see that go from 1 down to 2 clear.
Well, that's interesting because I think that's a good point. Like he still hasn't won. And I think in all those instances where he's come in second, he was kind of like chasing. And, you know, he came in leading, tied with Fitzpatrick, and those two were, Fitzpatrick was not, he was ice. He had ice in his veins for sure. And I thought Zalatoris did too. And, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who's in town, you know, former golf professional, and we were analyzing it, and he was giving me his 2 cents as a golf professional and similar. He was just saying, like, until you've, like, you know, been Tiger Woods and been out ahead, right? It's a different mindset to play out ahead.
Right. And to get thrust there from 1 tee box to the next. I mean, because those next 2 tee shots were just brutal, man.
Yeah. And there's no room for error on that course, right? You're just not only are you pushing it, but then you're in rough, you know, up to your knees. You're in that, you know, just nasty stuff.
Matt, speaking of balls and putters, I like this that you shared. Nude pickleball is taking off. not for me. Nude pickleball, not for me. NFT, not for Tis Caballero. I don't know why I shared that, because we're filling time here. That's what we do. We fill time. We're going to get the price discovery right now. Matt, this shared by Miami Cool, kind of like Cool Rick. If this becomes regular occurrence, we are in trouble. What a shame. From oil independence to this, all BS of the delusional administration and their destructive policies around energy. And the video was shared here as East Coast truckers are stranded on highways waiting for gas. You know, you like me, Matt, I know you like to push that empty envelope, and you're like, there's another rest center just up ahead. I'll go. Yeah, you get there and there's no gas, no diesel. And this was, I'm not sure when this video was taken. I believe it was very current East Coast shortages. Let's cover some refiners, Matt, because that's how that black gold gets turned into diesel. You got to refine it.
Yeah, and in this town, where every other car parked in, you know, downtown is a diesel sticking its butt out, you know, ready to clip my little car. I mean, it's just annoying. So maybe we'll keep them off the roads a little bit. But Valero VLO has had a huge sell-off, 147 down to, what did we get down to here last week? 110, bouncing today up $5 with the rest of the market. Again, all assets are one. Right.
It's insane.
Oil's up. Bonds are down. Again, this is why I detest holidays, because the 4-day weeks just get crammed. You know, you always march up Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday we go up more. Like, don't even trade until the first hour's over. It's all gap. There's no follow through. So anyways, Valero.
So I mean, looking at that,
it's coming into value. I don't know, Bob. I mean, you know,
well, at some point, demand destruction has to happen with.
Yeah. But 84 looks like a good spot to buy if you haven't been involved. And
I actually want to talk about these levels, because I don't think long term there's going to be the destruction that needs for those things to really go right-sided and fulfill the rest of that value range.
Well, it's right-sided right now for sure, but it was also pretty steep. So, you know, this area back in here is 101. So that's an old high also from 2019. So maybe we get back to that level. We got down to 110. And value doesn't even come into it on a longer term chart. This is a 2-year chart until 80. So still very bullish. And if you were involved, hopefully you took some profits. I was not involved with this name. A couple other names, Phillips 66, same looking, blow off here. also, let me go back to Valero just to tell you. I think these are decent stocks to own because of the dividends, right? 3.5% in Valero. PSX Phillips is paying 4.3% currently. Just came into the top of value there on a longer term chart. Again, going back.
I mean, that's actually a solid entrance right now, and monitor it. It shouldn't spend.
And again, we're maybe a day late. Maybe Friday was the day to buy, but because they're all gapping up again, 6% today on the move there. And MPC Marathon pays a 2.66% dividend. And again, probably of the three, probably the weakest name pays about a 2.66%. 50 billion market cap here. Valero is 50 billion, and Phillips 50 billion. So they're all about the same size. So you go ahead and pick the one. Do your homework. Do your own homework. Fundamentally,
Matt, let's just revisit, because a year and a half ago now, maybe 2 years ago, we first covered the ExxonMobil Zoom pair.
Right.
I know Zoom had worldwide troubles today.
Yeah. We're zooming right now.
We're zooming right now, so they figured it out.
Zoom on Zoom. They figured it out.
Yep.
What is Zoom's market cap?
Well, here's that pair. I mean, let's bring that up because we talked about it so long ago. Let's just give me a long-term chart to look at it. What did we go to? And this is Zoom over. It went from 1 to 0, basically. They were 1 to 1 and went to 0. Looks like you lost me again here, so sorry about that.
Again, I mean, he's so good looking.
Zoom's having problems. Let's look at Zoom today because they were down.
I mean, I know we pointed that out where the market caps were close, or maybe Zoom was had a bigger market cap than ExxonMobil at one point.
Yep.
Zoom, there's a right side for you folks. For you sitting at home playing,
it's still a $34 billion market cap here today. It's insane to think about, right?
And so do some math. I know you're good at math. Where was that market cap at its highs?
And now Exxon's 10x Zoom, because it's 400 billion market cap. So that kind of took off, did its thing, went from 31 to 105. And Zoom went from, where did we get, like 5, almost 600 down here to 80. I mean, demand destruction. Whoa. Oh, I mean, so what's that? That's 7.5x, Bob. So it was worth 225 billion.
There you go. Sometimes that's important to do that metric.
By the way, we are in a bull market situation everywhere today, and don't get too excited about the EV plays. Speaking of crickets and all this, lithium production issues. So NIO, another Chinese EV player, right? They do cars. They had a virtual product release today. Okay, doubled. I mean, 15 to 23, and before that, it was down here at 11. So all of you speculators, might be time to dump it. And here's why. It went from 11 to, I don't see it really. It's not a pretty chart, it's just right-sided. And it looks like it's going to go to about $3. So
what's the high value there?
32.
Bingo.
And that's all time because the stock's only been trading since late 2018. So, but I got called. I was getting pumped from a few retail participants over the weekend. So I don't follow the name. So I looked at it today. I'm like, oh, they got lucky. Good for them. Hopefully they sell it. But yeah, the last 3 days have been parabolic here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now's the time to short, not in the hole, right? If you weren't short, now might be a good time to re-enter, re-engage up to 32. So yeah, to me, I love that 32 level. Get it up there, chase it up there, please. I doubt we'll see it, but
because NIO at 32 becomes the blue pill, or is it the red pill? I always get them confused.
But again, there's just the To me, it's crazy that all these, whether it's, was it Riven, the electric truck, I've seen a few of those around town, and, they actually look pretty nice. But I mean, good Lord, where's this thing going? It's $27 billion market cap. Do we need all these EV manufacturers, Tesla, Ford, GM? We already have, like we've talked about, Mercedes, BMW, Volvo, everybody makes an electric car now. Okay.
Matt's got the Irish flu today. I'm not sure everybody's aware of that, but I'm going to point it out. You can't see him. He's got the Irish flu so bad. He's disappeared on us. He has disappeared. All right, Matt, anything else? We got a holiday Tuesday.
Tuesday. Really light volume today, Bob. Really light volume. The NASDAQ is 625. Here's the way I look at a day like today. I don't even like to trade the first hour. If you bought that, if you're a day trader, you had a 200-point move, and now we're just chopping broccoli with really light volume. I mean, look at this volume. This is why holidays suck in the summer. This is why I hate, but we do have earnings coming up. So don't get too excited about, this rally. I just don't think it's got long in the tooth. I mean, first of all, first level is 11.8. Can they even get up there, right? Can they even get up to 11.8? And that's kind of been in the bracket we've been in, 11 to 11.8. So there's your first bracket. And then above that, you got another 1,000 points up to 12.8. Then there's another bracket up there. So, and again, this is the big area. I would love to sell 12.8 again today. And we just entered
tomorrow, the end of the week.
Yeah.
1st of July.
Yeah. I mean, we basically have 4-day weeks in a row. This week, Tuesday through Friday, next week, Monday through Thursday, Friday might as well be a holiday. And then Monday's a holiday. So that's a 4-day week. Right.
It's the dog days, Matt.
These next 3 weeks are going to be illiquid, thin, and why wouldn't we go up?
All right.
Until and then we get into the earnings in July, and then why wouldn't we go down?
Well, that'll be the Matt, let me share for a second because I can't share. Again, I'm gonna talk. I gotta talk to the union representative on sharing.
AFL-CIO.
Exactly.
Just have Biden come talk to your union. I'm sure they'll be pumped about that.
Matt, you shared this in the Twitter sphere. Who had Wisconsin food plant fired for their bingo card last night? This was
seriously
from Ultra Dante, another food processing plant erupts in flames, this time in Wisconsin. I believe we were approaching 100 such coincidences since 2021. I'm not sure how many we need to get John Bollinger on here and see what kind of standard deviation move we have on food plants going up in flames. It's probably more than there are stranded.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some maps with all the dots on. Basically, there's almost one in every state now. I think that's been torched. And again, where's the investigative journalism on this? This seems like an easy story. Are you calling the firefighters at all these places and finding out, was it arson? What happened? Was it fertilizer?
Right, exactly.
What's going on? Like, there's no story. Like, this is a story I'd be interested in.
Well, the Washington Post journalists are afraid to go meet Deep Throat in a parking garage because they're offended and scared. And they're going to stay that way. We are offended and scared, and that's journalism now.
And then the Dixie Chicks, I can't call them. I saw that. Go back and show us that page again.
Hold on. Yeah, because you go dark now.
Yeah.
I got to keep sharing in order for.
Yes. I see trending. What's happening over there? Dixie Chicks. I still call them the Dixie Chicks because I love how they got rid of the name that made them famous.
Right. Exactly.
After they're famous, now they're all.
Why did they quit? We could not give you the show you deserved. The Chicks. People.
Maybe she got quad jabbed and was just worn out.
Hold on a second. Let's see why.
So are they giving them their money?
Apologizing fans promising to return to the stage in the future. Like, what? That doesn't sound like they shared the why.
No.
Did they have like a bipolar? Doesn't look like there's a lot of people there anyway.
It says 11,000 fans right there.
Oh my word. Bombed. They just left.
They're coming to back.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Everything woke is broke. You know?
Everything woke is broke.
There you go. Trending. Go woke and go broke.
Go woke, go broke. Lee, what do you got for us? Lee says chemical plant in Shanghai last week too. Oh, vocal issues. How about they just say, let's bring somebody who knows all the words. Bring somebody up on stage.
Bring a young kid.
Yeah, somebody in the audience knows all the words.
By the way, Netflix and chill not doing too well today. I don't know if you saw this. Red, actually, which is interesting, 2.5% off. The low was 163 here in May. So we kind of rallied back to 210 and testing that bottom again. Netflix and chill, Bob. Netflix
hey, fractal way out, because that's a nice consolidation. And
yeah, we've been spending some time, but I still think we got, you know.
I agree. There's, I mean, look at that. You want to talk about right side from hell? Point of control is where, Matt?
Going back to 2007, point of control is somewhere around $10.
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. All right, Lee's saying the dollar down.
Yep. Well, when the dollar, we know the dollar's down because the market's up. Market only goes up when the dollar's down.
Where are we at with it?
You won the bet. And I paid, and you got paid off last night, by the way, so you're good. 105. It got up 105.80 or so, which was a new high, but just kind of putzing around here, down a dime. Really nothing going on there. Bonds today, which is more interest. Again, this market is so thin. It's very liquid. It's not a market I'm excited about day trading, to be honest with you. It's very thin, very light. And after the rally, the bonds had up to 135. They've just kind of been pissing down their own back and telling themselves it's been raining in the bond world all weekend. You know, we hit 135 on Friday and just been zzz. I don't know. Again,
well, let me share something here too, because I got a little nuance here on the back to the dollar. Share. This is the monthly. All right, we're going to roll into the end of the month next week. And again, this is just a physical, powerful looking chart, especially if we can maintain this momentum level next month, which is going to shift. Let's do some math here, Matt. About 101.50, I believe it'll come in next month. But the other interesting thing too, as you see these, weeks turn into months, obviously, and that drives the chart. But you got rounding now on the upper band here, because it hasn't stayed explosive, especially the last 2 weeks here. So I wouldn't see why this thing can't float back down to 101.5, maybe for the first part of July before we resume its march towards 120 or wherever the all-time highs are on this thing.
Yeah, we haven't done that since the turn of the year, basically. The last time we kind of, tested that green band. So
that's what I'm thinking. Be patient with this dollar. It's not, I don't think it's done for sure.
No, I still think we're going to see 120 possibly next year. This inflation's not going away.
But now they're even saying, and you can tell too that nobody knows. Because
did you see that? By the way, did you see the Canadian, FOMC, Justin Trudeau, lover girl and Yellen? Did you see that?
No. Did they have a Zoom call?
They were together. I think they were in Canada. They had the Canadian and the American flags, and they were talking about intervention. I was just like, oh my God, it was so painful because it looked like she got into. Are
they talking about doing currency intervention?
Oh yeah,
I gotta tell you, man, the great FX currency markets of the 80s are well on their way back in. I mean, they're going to, central banks in, Fed's in, Bank of Japan's in, defending currencies. When interest rates have go completely sideways as far as their correlations. Some are raising faster than others. Others aren't raising. Some are cutting, as a matter of fact. Interest rate arbitrage and currency trading, I think, is going to be incredibly lucrative the next several years. Yep. So not just the DXY, you can trade that for sure, but these pairs and the crosses. I mean, that along with the Eurodollars made the Merc what it is.
The grains, speaking of fires, the grains are off quite a bit today. I don't know if you took a look at that. That's kind of interesting, like big time off. So corn, last week corn hit $8 again and is trading all the way down here to $7.56 today.
Show that. I thought so we're in this part of the year where one farmer will show his field showing heat stress, but it's one farmer, right? And there's just this giant weather narrative back and forth. And I saw some great tweets from analysts, farmers, and traders of grains that it's very, very rare that the isolated share really has an effect on the crop long term.
Wheat is really ugly, down another 5% today, 993 single digits.
Let me ask you this: do you think? I know that there's been rumblings about brokering Ukrainian wheat for Russian energy. That's where we are in this conflict, by the way. We're the Ben Stiller segment of the Ukraine conflict, where they're brokering Russian energy for Ukraine wheat. So they might. I mean, this chart would tell you maybe there's some truth to those back channel headlines, right? That there a ton of that grain is going to find its way to the market,
right? And the beans are still hanging up, a little bit. They're holding out a little bit better, but again, they all look, if you're just looking at a chart going back decade, I mean, they all look toppy. They all look like at an area where they have reversed.
Well, and here's the other thing too.
Pause.
You're going to feed soybeans to grasshoppers now, and it's more efficient to turn that into human usable protein, as far as I know.
Right,
Matt. We're going to do Cajun shrimp grasshoppers. You're going to eat them.
I'm not touching them.
Yes, you are.
You can send a big bowl to Shy Girl. I think she looks interested in that.
Shy Girl shared that. Thank you, Shy Girl. Thank you to all the people that we harvest content from. That's what we do, man. We're harvesting content left, right, and center.
Left, right, and center.
All right, man. I got a construction project still going on.
Well, it beats watching a market that just stopped trading after the opening hour.
So. That, as a matter of fact, after I left the bar last night, I came back home and put the work belt back on and worked for another 2 hours. Okay. That's pretty good after more than one Michelob Ultras. All right, man.
You even ordered one and left it there.
Somebody drank it. Believe me. All right, pal. I appreciate it. Lee, thank you so much. Please join us at marketbubbles.io. Please share.
By the way, Tampa Bay wins this next game, and it's a best of 3 series like we talked about yesterday. They need a big win, and they came back and slaughtered them, by the way. Slaughtered them.
Bingo. Bongo.
Did you see they haven't given up a 5-on-5 goal at home in like 6 games?
Man. Hey, Matt, defense wins championships. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, so does wisdom over youth. So Lee, good luck. I hate Blanche. I hate the Avs. Always have. It's from my days being, you can't see my hat, but
no, we can't see it. Thank God.
Yeah.
A face for radio, mistrade, Matt Davio. Thank you, Matt.
Hey Bob, we're trading basically the same price as we traded at 720. So enjoy the day. It's really exciting.
Wait a second, Matt. Not only that, I believe. No, we were trading 11,465, right? When we were at the bar last night, 465.
And I was long, so I just wrote it up and puked it out on that opening run, and just been sitting here the whole day, going boom, boom, boom. All right, man. Thank you, Lee. A lot of levels. Don't get too bullish, people. There's a lot of levels you got to go through.
Hasta.
Lots of levels.